Alright, so this little project that I'm planning to work on, and the whole idea is to put flooring on here so we can use this space for storage and maybe something else that I have in my mind, but we're gonna see how it's gonna go. Part of the problem is that I have all this insulation and I cannot squish it, because if I do, I'm gonna lose all the R value, which is the ability of the insulation to insulate your house is going to reduce. So we cannot squish it. Now, if you look at here, I don't know if you can really see it, but it's like a good 10 to 15 inches high from the joists. So what my plan is to raise the install replacement, not replacement, but raise the flooring somehow and install the joists above the insulation so I don't squish it. This is what the whole idea is. So as you can see, there's joist where the number 7 is, and it's about 15 inches from where the top layer of insulation is. So I have to raise at about 15 inches and then install the joists and the subflooring on top of it. So what I'm trying to do is I have these little pieces of wood that I cut out. It's about 2 by 4 inches, and then what I did was I also took 1 inch by 4 inch wood pieces, and I cut them in small pieces. These are about 3 by 3, a little smaller than that. They're not accurate. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, put it right like that, and install the little one like that and screw it in to hold it in place on either side so it's strong and sturdy. So that's what I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna put joist on top of these little pillars all over the place, and I'll show you later once we go along, and then I'm gonna put subflooring on it. So this is a little project, and hopefully it will go all well, and I'll keep you in the loop while I'm doing it, so I can explain, and maybe you can benefit from it. Alright, so here we go. Work a little bit too much. This is where I am right now. I'm sort of halfway done. So this is a very good picture of what am I doing, So you see these little pillars there, I worked it in, and then just like a little example here, the whole joist is I'm gonna buy. This is just a small little piece for my measurement purposes, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy the entire joist and run them. So starting from this little wood piece all the way through, and it's gonna join right there. Obviously, I do not have the little pieces here because I'm still like working my way all the way up over there. But 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 done, and I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 all the way. Still have to do. So this is what I'm gonna do. So it's gonna run right over these all the way up over there, and once it actually over there, sorry. So once I have that, then I have good support without squishing my insulation, and then I can put the subflooring right on top of it and have this huge, a big 10 by 20 space for myself, which obviously part of it I'm going to use for storage, and some of it is something that I'm planning to do. I'll disclose that later. I'm not planning to disclose that now because it's something that I really wanted to do for a very long time. But anyway, so this is what the update is. Thank you. Alright, hey guys, so here's the progress for what I was doing here. If you look at it, this is what the plan was. So I know there's a lot of light there, so if you look at it, after making those little risers, which sort of looks like that right there, these risers, we went ahead and installed all these risers on the joist that I had already, and then I bought another joist which would go on top of those risers. If you see, that's how it's gonna look like. And then I'm gonna screw them in, and then once these are all done, all across the board, and the flooring will go right on top of it. So I'm gonna buy the 4x8 boards, the subboards or subflooring boards or whatever, and I'm gonna have them cut into 4x2, and then it's gonna be 2, and this is exactly 4 because joists are 2 feet apart. So it's gonna go 2x4, 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 and 2x4, and so on and so forth. So that's what the plan is. It's coming along. It's really hard. Takes a lot of energy, a lot of time. Hopefully you will learn from my experience, because I searched online for the videos to have better ideas, but there wasn't any like that would give me some detailed information. So as I go along, I'll talk about the things that I ran into and all the difficulties, and might give you some ideas how to make it easier so you can knock it out quicker than I did and have to go through all of that. So that's where I am. I think coming out pretty good. 2 over here, 3 over there. Got 1 sitting over here, which will go somewhere out here. Because of the opening, I don't need a 10-footer. It just need a 6-footer, a 4-footer, or something like that. This whole area between the support, the roof support, is about 10 by 20. So if you see that big piece of wood, the joist, this is about 10 feet. And then along the width it's like about 20. So that's where I am. Alright, so good afternoon again. Here's the progress. As you can see, I had a total of 11 joists that I was supposed to put on, and I'm done with 6. And they look pretty good. They're very sturdy. I checked already. And even though it's not calculated, but I'm gonna go over this white pipe, which is awesome because now it's gonna be all covered. What I'm gonna have to do is this side over to the left-hand side of this area. I have two already. I'm gonna have to build 2 more, and then so I can put like subflooring on it and just cover the entire thing. So that's pretty cool. These 2, that one, I have all the pillars, but I have not been able to find the joists. You can go and buy brand new, which run you around, I guess, $10 or $12, something like that. I'm just trying to save as much as I can and give you ideas how you can do it the most economical way. So what I do is, I go to Home Depot every now and then and try to find the salvage or the scrap wood. They're perfectly fine. It just doesn't look that nice and neat and clean and pretty. That's why they just salvage it or scrap it. So that's what I'm looking for. If not, then I'll just go and buy a brand new one. I was able to find these 3. They're perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Only spent like $2, or I guess $1 and some change for one. It's 10 feet long, so there it is. So once I install these 3, those 6 are installed, and I'm gonna be left with 2, and all the joists are gonna be complete. And then we're gonna go ahead and put the subflooring on it, and I'll show you how to do that my way. It's not the perfect way. I'm no professional. I'm no contractor or carpenter or whatever. I've never done this something like that before. It's my first and very first experience in my life, but I think it's turning out pretty good. So I'll keep you along, and if you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll try my little best to answer them. Alright, thanks. Alright, hello everybody. So here's the next update. I was able to finish all the structure as I was talking about, so all the joists are done. And if you go around, see, this is how it's gonna come out. So I got all of them done, and now what I'm doing is I've purchased all the subflooring. They come in 8 by 10. No, I'm sorry, 8 by 4. So I cut them in half, make them 2 by 8. So it's like, you know, if you look at it, it starts here and go all the way. That's like 8 feet by 2 feet. I went ahead and purchased a 1/2 inch thickness because I'm not going to be putting a lot of load onto it. It's just me, myself, and just the table going all the way around. So I did not need a 3/4 of an inch. If you're planning to use it as a room or use a lot of furniture and stuff like that, you may want to go with the 3 1/4, but 3/4 of an inch. But if not, then 1/2 an inch is just fine. It's about $13.55 at Home Depot. Very cheap. They cut it for free. There's absolutely no charge. Now, like, all I gotta do is just bolt them down and be done with it. So I'm gonna keep you updated, and if you have any questions, just throw it at me so I can answer your question and make your life a little bit easier. Thank you. So a little bit more. Just went ahead and took care of the hard part. So going around the poles was a little bit of a challenge. Going around that, a lot of measurements. I just made a mistake. I should have trimmed like along this edge to cover this and that little hole, but I totally forgot, and then I realized after I was done. So it's alright. That hole came out pretty cool. Pretty pleased with it, and that's what it looks like so far. So if you look at it, I'm gonna have to go around the pole here. So that, I'm gonna put another piece in there, and then fill this gap. Get that area taken care of. Get this little area covered up along this edge right there, and that's how it's gonna come out. So far so good. Pretty happy with it. No complaints. I guess it came out really good. And so yeah, let me know what you think, and if you have any questions, just ask me. Thank you. Alright, so here we are with the final product. It was hard, but finally it is all done. There you go. So obviously I couldn't do anything about this because it was a little bit too high, but that's fine. You know, I do not have to make it all fancy. Here we go, all the way. I salvaged this piece. It was already up here, and there's gonna be a shelf on top of it, so it doesn't really matter. I can use it. It's not that bad though. It's not bolted down yet because I ran out of screws. So I'm gonna go to Home Depot tomorrow and get some, but I had a few and I went ahead and bolted it down. So I think it came out pretty good. Not too bad. And just let you know, I absolutely have no experience whatsoever to do anything like that. Absolutely not. You can see this is the first time I tried something. I'm very typical 9 to 5 sort of working guy. No contractor. I have absolutely no knowledge how to do these things. But it's just, initiative, you just have to make up your mind and tell yourself, hey, you can do it. And I can guarantee you that you can. There's nothing that you can't do. Once you put your hands into it, there's absolutely no doubt that you can certainly do it. It was a hard project. It took a while, but determination and passion certainly paid off. You know, this is, you can see it's free space, 10 by 20. Absolutely free space. You can use it for storage. You can use it for your hobbies or your man cave or whatever you want to call it. You know, it's an absolutely awesome space now, and it did not cost me a whole lot of money. I would be 110% honest with you. It didn't cost me to build all of that more than $120 max. You know, my biggest cost really was these subflooring that I had to buy, and I bought them brand new because you really cannot find them salvaged. But it's $13.55 a board, 8x4. You can get them cut so you can get through the hatch right there and get your project going. So, you know, it did not cost me more than $120 to build all of that. It took me about, I would say, well, it took me really a whole month, but I only work on weekends when I'm off, when I didn't touch it during my days, my weekdays. So, you know, here and there, you know, I would just spend a few hours, probably a couple of hours a day for a month, so 4 weeks. So 8 days, couple of hours, and there you have an awesome space. So again, like I said, I'm new to this. You guys probably have a lot of questions which I may not have explained or talked about, but if you have anything, just ask me and I will try my little best to answer all your questions so you can do this too and get a great space for yourself. So thank you very much again, and thank you for joining in. See ya.